putting your K mount in, it comes with some bolts underneath. You tighten those up, and then at the top we marked the inside of the bolt. So then we're going to take the mount off and then put a punch right in the center of that, the drawing that we put in, and then drill the holes through. Okay, so you see the holes we drew here. We are going to actually punch them a little bit off-centered because the way that this mount is made, underneath here there's a little bracket and the mount kind of sits a little bit off to the side, and the holes are centered in the side of that. So looks good to me. Then we just drill the holes. Here are 2 holes drilled, and I will put the mount on and show you what it looks like afterward. Okay, so it's in. As you can see, the 2 bolts here, and swing around, and they come through the bottom right there. It does come with some nuts to put on the end of those bolts just for extra security. So we'll put those on once the car's painted. Just a small update. We're trying to put the engine in, and I didn't really do a whole lot of research on what I needed to do specifically for a K24 to put into a EG chassis, and this is the stock TSX bracket, and obviously that will not work with the Hotsport mounts. So I ordered a mount from K-Tuned. It should be here this week, and once that gets here, we will be able to finish mocking up our all-wheel drive transmission in there. It is really tight, so which anybody that's done a K-swap probably knows. We've got some, it is really tight in this area once we lower the car down. We didn't really film us putting the engine in. I already tried to put it in, obviously it didn't work. Put the mount on this side, but it was really tough. With being my first K-swap, I believe the issue really was because, as you can tell, the back of the car is really high in the air because we're doing stuff to the rear end, and that caused, you can see the engine sitting back, made it really hard to get the mounts right. So anyway, once that gets in, we'll continue. Just a quick update here. You see I got the drive shaft. It is really small. It looks like it came off of a go-kart. So, my thumb, thumb is 2 fingers just as wide as half shaft. So we'll see how strong it is. I have been looking online for a viscous coupler out of a 2002 to 2005 Land Rover Freelander. Found 2 of them at my local junkyard, so I may go ahead and go pick one up. I will likely not install it until this system fails, because I want to wait and see how much this can handle, what kind of abuse it can handle before I switch over to something a little more sturdy. Because there's not a whole lot of information on how much the CRV drivetrain can handle, and I really want to see what it can do. As you seen in the last video, I mentioned something about the air compressor. That I got the compressor motor in today, so our compressor pump rather. So I'm going to start putting it together. A little update on the rear end here. I started taking this stuff off. Needed a 45 Torx bit to get this off all the way. I was originally going to weld on the CRV hubs. Let's see if I can pop one out. There we go. Hub bearing assembly. So what I was originally going to do is going to weld this on, on over here, something like this. Oop, there we go. And go with it that way. I've been doing some research, and I really don't want to make it go 5 lug. So my options is either to weld up the hub, then have it re-drilled, which is kind of sketchy, or find another 4 lug hub setup. And what I've found is that possibly Honda Insight 2000 to 2006 front hubs and hub bearings will work. So I ordered those today. Once those come in, we'll see how they fit up. I'm really hoping it works, because I've been trying to calculate how much it's going to cost, and it'll be a lot cheaper if I don't have to modify the front of my car and leave everything 4 lug and just use swap axles. So for this video, that's about it. There's not a whole lot more I can do until I have that mount in. We can't really even, we can't put the drive shaft in because we don't know where the transmission is going to bolt up to, and can't do much with the rear end until I get those 4 lug hubs, and can't really do much more with the engine either because I haven't really bought a lot of parts for it. Kind of just bought just the essentials just to get the engine into the car. I'm waiting on the rest of the stuff until Black Friday, like the actual K series specific stuff, because most vendors have some sales and stuff, and I'm about 5 weeks away from that. So if I could save $300 to $500 on this swap, that would be fantastic, because I wasn't even really going to go all-wheel drive until Huss Performance decided they was going to have a sale on that transmission, and I thought I would scoop it up. So yeah, maybe we'll have more content later this week. It just depends on that mount. But anyways, thanks for watching. Let me know if you like the channel, like what I'm doing. If you have any advice on the rear end, especially with the hubs. I'm rocking the Honda Insight ones, hopefully, but we'll see. I don't really want to buy any more hubs because I've bought the CRV ones, and pretty much that's a waste now if I go with the Insight ones, so I'm kind of losing money there. But it is what it is. I kind of jumped the gun on the rear end. I started putting that stuff together, or ordering it. I actually sold my wheels. They were cheap wheels. They're like AWD wheels. I paid 500 something bucks for them and sold them for $450 because I thought I was going to go 5 lug. And now I may not have to go 5 lug. So now I'm going to have to buy some more wheels, which it's okay. I've always wanted to go with some authentic wheels, and if the car turns out the way that I'm hoping it's going to turn out, like the way that my D series looked whenever I was finished with the engine bay with that, then it's probably time for me to upgrade to like some authentic wheels. But my options there are limited. I'm not paying $2,500 for some wheels, but I paid maybe up to $1,500 to $2,000 max. The work CR01s is something I really want, but it's not really a wheel that looks good. I don't think it would look good with all-wheel drive. It could, I mean, if it's just a show car, but something more sporty would probably be better for this build. It's going to have some meaty tires on it with the amount of horsepower I'm trying to push out. Which, it's not a whole lot. Well, it is for me. 500 horsepower is my goal, kind of. I'm rocking the stock engine, but I've seen several over 600 with the stock K24, so we'll see how it goes. If I could get 400 to the wheels, all 4 wheels, I think that would be pretty crazy in like a 2,300 pound car. But anyways, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe, like it, thumbs down, give me whatever you want. If you give me any advice for the rear end, advice other than paying somebody $2,000 for RTAs, be appreciated. This is kind of new, the whole all-wheel drive scene. It's blowing up, but we're at the point where everything's just really expensive. Kind of like when the K series first started, it was, you know, it'd cost you nearly 10 grand to do a K swap, and now you can budget K swap for around 3. So it's the same thing with the all-wheel drive stuff. You can pay 2 grand for a bolt-in setup, or you can spend, you know, $400 or $500 and do it yourself, which is what I'm trying to do. So anyways,